Hello noble home dogs. The last time we looked at Sonic the Hedgehog games, we looked at a Sonic crossover in LEGO Dimensions. Today we're following that trend with another crossover, so stay tuned. Mario and Sonic are two of the biggest icons in video gaming history, with a long history of rivalry. With their mascot Mario, Nintendo were at the very top of the video gaming food chain, but there was also Sega, who did what Nintendo didn't. Okay, not a catchphrase that works in the past tense, duly noted, and proved a worthy rival for Nintendo. But obviously, Sega pulled out of the video game consoles race and became a third-party developer, freeing up Sonic to appear on Nintendo consoles and handheld systems, which at that time must have been pretty mind-boggling for fans of the Sonic Advance series. But if that wasn't bizarre enough, no one could have foreseen 2008's announcement of Mario and Sonic crossing over for the Beijing Olympic Games. This would also be the first official video game tie-in for the Olympics, and Mario and Sonic were entrusted with the honor of carrying that torch, and gotta say, that's more than a safe bet. If an official Olympic game video game tie-in wasn't gonna sell, giving it a Mario spin sure as hell would, giving it a Sonic spin sure as hell would, but giving it both Mario and Sonic treatment, this was a surefire hit. I'm not going to lie though, being a sports video game, this isn't going to really be a platformer like both Mario and Sonic are known for. Both of these guys are going outside of their comfort zone and venturing into the world of sports video games, meaning that neither Sonic or Mario can do what they do best effectively, which I guess almost kind of feels like a waste of a great crossover. Now, I'd love to talk about Mario and Sonic in the Olympic Games as a full series, but this is the only Nintendo console I've ever owned, and this is the only Mario and Sonic game I own with it. But don't worry, this video will be about the Mario and Sonic Olympic Games video games as a whole. You'll just have a different guide for that leg of the journey. And since all the American Sonic tubers were too busy getting circumcised, I had to forge a pretty uneasy alliance. So, buckle in, folks. I really want to preface this part of the video with a content warning. This includes stuff that will be offensive, hurtful, and disturbing. I swore I'd never platform a person like this, but here goes.
Alright, hello, I am here. Unwillingly, as Pup Overlord has threatened to cancel me on multiple occasions. And I'm now doing this as leverage, so here we are. Now, the older games in this oddly entertaining spin-off are arguably some of the best that the series has to offer. You got the original game for the Beijing 2008 games, pretty solid all around for both Wii and DS. Then there was the fantastic 2010 Vancouver Winter Olympics with enthralling winter events and a long and vastly entertaining story mode if you're on the DS port. And lastly, the one I'll focus on in the... Okay, I better hurry up. London 2012 was a really solid title for the series, featuring numerous events from the regular Olympics, while also incorporating a hell of a lot of Dream events, arguably one of the best selling points of the games. I mean, Dream Long Jump in Yoshi's Woolly World, Dream Horizontal Bar being hosted in Metropolis, Dream Fencing at Seaside Hill. The references are plentiful and the gameplay is competitive. Beyond that though, you also got London Party, incorporating events and minigames involving luck, skill and even general knowledge about Mario and Sonic, the Olympics and even the UK, going painstakingly in detail about how fucking stupid our traditions are. And the rewards? Challenges to do in general, music and suits to unlock for your Miis, yes you can insert yourself into this game cucksha, and a sticker collection. Because why the hell not? It is a collectathon like the Spirit List in Smash Ultimate or the Pokédex, but it is straight up addicting seeing those slots get ticked off. And this is all just in the Wii port alone. The 3DS iteration is something else. For starters, this handheld port removed Dream events in their entirety, focusing solely on regular Olympic activities. There are a lot of mini-games here at your disposal. However, it comes at a cost. Events are divided into separate categories of players: the heroes, the girls, the tricksters, the tanks, and the leftovers that were thrown in just for inclusion. So if you wanted to do a 100-meter sprint as Bowser on the 3DS version, you can't. So much for diversity. What's more, the games like football, they aren't like regular matches, they're penalties. I mean, who's complaining? This is epic. You're doing God's work, Sega. And finally, there's the bonus shit. A story mode with more references up the arse and more lore to boot for the series. You know, I always used to wonder why the DS games always got the story modes and the Wii got party games, not vice versa. but that's just because the console versions are intended to be played by multiple people as a sort of party game, whereas handheld is preferred to be played solo. Pretty nice design right there. Overall, the early days of this series were still up to a high standard as a party game, a good choice amidst others in the genre, with certain iterations having completely different experiences. Although, why the Olympics were chosen to be the collaboration... Oh, bollocks. Oh, well, I guess I'm off. I'll see you next millennia, whenever I decide to creep out of my burrow again. Alright then, see ya.
Alright, you can take a breath now, it's over. Now, there is one way of fighting fascists such as TomTopics. Sometimes you gotta kill them with kindness, and Tom has promised that he will give up his fascist ways if you all subscribe to his channel, so I suggest you all do that now, for the sake of a better tomorrow for everyone. So that brings us to my leg of the journey. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games 2020. And like TomTopics, this Olympic Games was cancelled. So Mario and Sonic aren't just getting a slice of the action, they're getting all of it. This isn't just a tie-in, this is the Olympic Games for 2020. So immediately this one has quite a task on its shoulders. How do you represent an event that never actually happened? Well, the same way every video game story works pretty much. The glory of fiction, eh? So the game begins with a really amazing cutscene, and you would be forgiven for mistaking this for pre-rendered CGI. The first observation is the in-game graphics here are absolutely phenomenal. The presentation is gorgeous across the board. The character models are some of the best they've ever looked, with Sonic's models actually topping the ones from Sonic Forces, a game that released also on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. The environments look really nice. I don't know what Tokyo actually looks like, but this looks gorgeous. And I really love that sunshiny feel that this game has. You almost kind of get the feeling of butterflies in your stomach as you're about to participate in some of the events. It does have that feeling. The atmosphere is down. Also helped by a really good music score. The UI is nice and clean. Yeah, presentation, this game's got it down. Past all that though, it's what you would expect, it's minigames. Some of them are incredibly simple, and others require a surprising amount of skill and input. Now here's the funny thing, again, I only own the Nintendo Switch Lite. My girlfriend owns a big one, but it's all the way in Germany at the moment, so I've got no way of playing this with motion controls like I think the game was probably intended. So I get the feeling that some of these video games will be a lot more involving with the motion controls, but as just a handheld thing, they also work just fine. The easier and simpler ones generally feel like you're just doing sort of little video game exercises in a way that can require some good timing and reflexes. I wouldn't say that many of these boast much replayability on their lonesome though, but as far as this banquet of little mini games goes, there's nothing here that I didn't get any enjoyment from. Dream events also return, but my understanding was that these were considered to be the best thing about the previous games, and they are very, very, very few in this one. My understanding was that the dream events were kind of the bits where you're going outside of the map of Tokyo or outside of the Olympic game setting and just doing some competitive activities within the worlds of Mario and Sonic. Kind of the closest thing you'll get to a proper Mario and Sonic crossover outside of these mini-games. What's here is good, but there's very, very, very little of it. I enjoyed the shooting game, I enjoyed the karate mini-game, and it was nice to see the Metropolis stage from Sonic Forces get a little bit of redemption here in the boarding racing game. Now, while they have trimmed down massively on what was considered to be the best part of previous Mario and Sonic games, there are some other different things in its place that Mario and Sonic 2020 really brings to the table. Now, the controversial and crude YouTuber TomTopics did state that the handheld Mario and Sonic games had a story mode to make it more involving for players not using motion controls of the Wii. But the glory of the Nintendo Switch offers multiple ways to play, both handheld and using motion controls. Unless you're like me and have the Nintendo Switch Lite, in which you're just sticking with handheld. To compensate for this, they included a story mode. And it was a surprise to me that this didn't just consist of the little mini games bookended with awkward dialogue exchanges, as the game gives you a full map of Tokyo to explore, where you can interact with other characters, collect event passes, and learn some trivia about both game franchises as well as the Olympics. These little hub areas are pretty basic to explore, and the controls in these exploration areas are limited to just jogging and running, but they're really well realized, and it's still a really nice way of tying this all together. As far as those dialogue box cutscenes go, yeah, they are kind of awkward, and the story is obviously pitched down at kids. Mario games aren't exactly known for their stories, But as far as recent Sonic game stories go, this one is actually a little bit of an upgrade, and it utilizes its Olympic setting pretty well. If you're also one of the people who's not too fond of Tails' current characterization in the Sonic games being a little bit more cowardly, this game definitely seeks a little retribution for that. As a matter of fact, I do think a more appropriate name for this game would be Luigi and Tails at the Olympic Games, as it's really their story first and foremost. Even so, I must admit, it does feel like the Sonic cast got the preferential treatment here, as it feels a bit more like a Sonic game that just happens to have Mario characters along for the ride. Another great feature that Mario and Sonic 2020 brings to the table is the past. Now, yes, this does mean we have another instance of classic Sonic appearing in a modern game, but we also have classic Mario as well. God, it has to be said, as far as quality goes, there was a world of difference between classic Sonic and classic Mario sprites, wasn't there? I mean, Mario is older, to be fair, so it's, you know, equals pequals, but still, Team Sonic, right? Now, to be fair, this is as good a reason as any for classic Sonic and classic Mario to make a return. And there's no interdimensional stuff going on here. This is not like Sonic Generations or Sonic Forces. As far as the story goes, Dr. Eggman has devised a console that will send Sonic and Mario back to 1964's Olympic Games. Bowser is also there, but the plan goes wrong and they all get trapped in the past within this game console. And it's a race between Team Sonic and Mario and Team Eggman and Bowser to escape the console using gold medals. Just go with it, okay? But of course it is a race against the clock, as the console does have a battery life. So it's up to Luigi and Tails to power up a battery fueled by excitement. Again, just go with it. So conceptualize this. Mario and Sonic had their first Olympic crossover back in the 90s on 16-bit consoles. Obviously that didn't happen, but now you can kind of simulate that through Mario and Sonic 2020, and it all feels pretty authentic. Another thing the story mode brings are different games that can be accessed in the game room. These are contextual games to the storyline, and while they loosely tie in with the Olympic theme, they're more based around the map of Tokyo. These can range from Sonic chasing after Dr. Robotnik in a taxi, through to Mario doing stealth, through to Tails having a mass brawl with a bunch of Shy Guys. Okay, I really like that. That might just be the highlight of this game. So I'll say this, at full price, it's iffy as to whether or not I would actually recommend Mario and Sonic 2020, but I must say, as a fan of Sonic and kind of an up-and-coming fan of Super Mario, this was a good purchase. I was happy with this. The story mode definitely did a lot to sweeten the deal. I also really like the retro side to this story as well. It didn't feel intrusive or cheap. I'd love to do multiplayer on this, but literally no one is playing this at all. The online multiplayer is absolutely desolate. But it's enough to keep a fan of either Sonic or Mario entertained, and it's enough to keep a kid entertained. I mean, it is a kid's game after what the hell? I don't know, guys. This is a horny game. Why does a children's video game about woodland critters have this in it, though? That is a valid question. Now, before you guys go, please let me know what you think in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more like it, hit subscribe, hit the like button, and in the description below is the directory for all things Channel Pup, including links where you can help support this channel so that I'll have enough finances to afford beans! Thank you so much for watching, guys, and have a great day.